Warriors, to be honest. And that might be a difference maker. They brought back in Jordan Rapana. No matter how well Nightingale and Hiku did, Rapana is the winger for me.
Yeah.
I just like New Zealand to edge this one, even though there's a few players that I don't like as much as Jason Taumalolo. Adam Blair doesn't deserve to lace his boots these days, I would suggest, but he's going to play up in Adam Blair, so
you think so?
You know what he does, he gets angry and stuff. I like Joseph Tapani in the second row, but I also think Manu Mau's been outstanding, and Sika Manu's captained his side well, so it's going to be even matchups everywhere. I think the slight differences are going to come just around maybe 1-7 and 9, slightly going to be better for the New Zealanders.
Yeah, I think so too. Samoa take on Scotland on Saturday morning. Mark, I've got a big win for Samoa penciled in here. There's nothing that Scotland can offer in this one, surely.
No, and Oscar Thomas can't make a tackle at this level. I don't think.
It's just about like a tackle at championship level, Mark. This is not new information.
I enjoy watching him run with the ball. I enjoy seeing that side of his game. I don't enjoy seeing him getting ran at by big blokes like Frank Winterstein and whoever else is going to, Frank Pritchard off the bench maybe. Interestingly, they've gone with Famanu Brown instead of Ben Roberts, Samoa. I don't know why that's, because this game has to be won by them to qualify.
Yeah, they have to win. Maybe they think it's done.
But yeah, they are so much better, aren't they, than the side they're playing against. So that's where it's at, really.
Speaking of which, Australia take on the Lebanon on the final game of Saturday morning. Again, big win for the Australians, you've got to think.
Well,
that'd be soft. Come on,
I'm only joking.
It's a 50-point win by Australia.
It's going to be a huge win. Yeah, they've switched things up again. They've brought some of the players back, but then they've rested some other players. So that's a really interesting thing. But it feels like the resting players, and they're still bringing players who've played together plenty anyway.
Yeah.
Cronk and Maloney have played together in internationals before. And it's still that Woods, Smith, Clemmer front row. They've still got McLean and Campbell Gillard to come off the bench. They're going to be huge. Boyd Cordner comes back into the side. He's one of the best second rowers that I've seen play rugby league in the last 2 years. Yeah. And so it's just a phenomenal side, even when they make some minor changes there and rest people like Michael Morgan, Josh Maguire and Billy Slater.
Yeah. Still easy wins.
Yeah.
Okay, Sunday then. Anything a bit closer in your eyes? PNG take on the United States to start with. That's a win for PNG for me.
Yeah, I don't expect another 40 to 50 points.
Raucous crowd.
Sending off the Port Moresby home fans with some excitement. How many will Gary Lowe get? Will he get more than just the one this time?
We've got a good chance to, hasn't he, against the Americans? This is probably the easiest of their 3 games, you would say, for Papua New Guinea.
Young Lachlan Lamb comes in, possibly. He's another one who might suffer from reputation of his father sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's quite an important... I think they could make a change in that position if he has a good game. Just because, like I say, I don't think they've had a controlled kicking game from the Boas brothers. So I think they could even consider making a change at that position. If you remember in the first game against Wales, they ended up with all the hookers on rather than one of the halves as well, didn't they? So I do think they're not. I do think they're not convinced there. But everywhere else, it's just a couple of blokes are getting goes that I don't think have had so much of a go. Nixon Putt's not one I've seen play so far, but mostly the starting side really. The Albert brothers aren't playing, but most of the starting side is what we've seen so far. So they're going to be too powerful for this USA side, you would think.
Yeah. Can the Welsh muster up anything by way of an improvement against Ireland, Mark?
No, they're too battered up.
Yeah, they're too battered up and too depleted, aren't they? The Irish will win this comfortably, I would say.
They are starting Davies and Ansell in the halves. They're starting Matty Fazard at hooker with Steve Parry coming off the bench. That's an interesting move. Gavin Bennion comes in for his Welsh debut. They've still got some players who know what they're doing, at Super League level in the past, like Keir, Channing and Williams, and Phil Joseph, I suppose. But Kopchak, Knowles, Grace, they're not going to be good enough to do this, and that's the only Super League representation they've got.
Yeah.
Ireland are going to be way better. Joe Kesey's getting a run out for the Irish, so it's going to be Bradford half, another Bradford half to see in this game.
Interesting stuff, isn't it?
So that's good for you guys.
Final game of the weekend then, Mark. The important one, England take on the French. Lots and lots of changes to the England squad, lots of shuffling around of positions, lots of questions as to why.
I don't think this lineup that was named is going to be the lineup that turns out in those positions, not just because of McGillivray's potential ban.
That might have happened by now. Let's have a look.
We're going to win.
Yeah, of course we are.
France have changed their halfback pairing up again, and also they just don't have enough, do they? They've gone big in this game. If you look at the bench, Navarrete, Margolay and Herold, 3 props there. And Anthony Maria comes back into the side, but I still don't think they've got enough. We should crush them. I hope Scott Taylor has a good go, because I really don't want to see Heinton in the side going forward. Mike McMeekan is an interesting one, just because I don't think that White has been playing that great in this tournament so far. But pretty much everyone else. It's just Kevin Brown, isn't it? It's just what's Kevin Brown doing in the side.
What's the story with Kevin Brown?
Because if we've got a half again on the bench, and what we're going to do, throwing in with 18 minutes left without any sort of plan, rhyme or reason like last week, I just don't get it.
No.
I don't get it.
No, it's hard to fathom out. It would be good if we knew what the kind of broader plan was. But
we know the plan will be Roby and Hodgson will be in the 17 come the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
I think we know that. So that part doesn't worry me about swapping them out. But Chris Hill and Graham are starting again. Why are they both playing?
Yeah, they could get a rest.
They're the ones you can rest. Your prop forwards and your wingers in a Wayne Bennett side. Their job is their job, and it doesn't really matter about forging combinations and that sort of thing. Everyone else, you probably want to get some sort of combination.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I still think we're going to win well. We're going to win well.
But we'll do the England thing. We're not going to score like 60 points and look fluid and absolutely cut them apart, holes everywhere. We're going to win 36-10 or something.
Yeah. I wrote 40-10 now.
Well, that's everyone else is going to score 60 points.
There you go. So we'll see. Okay, but likely permutations then, because we're going to be coming back after the quarterfinals. If those results go the way that we think they will do, then Scotland will play Samoa. Although technically they could still play Scotland.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. The only one where we're not really certain is what's going to happen between Tonga and New Zealand, because Tonga could feasibly beat New Zealand. But it's looking like it will be New Zealand versus Fiji and Tonga versus Lebanon, although those two, Tonga and New Zealand, are interchangeable. And England will play Papua New Guinea in the final semi-final, in the final quarter-final.
That's probably what's going to be going on. I hope by then England are ready to go full tilt, because I still think we can win this World Cup.
Listen, we're going to have to go.
I'm so deluded.
I know. I'm not even acknowledging it. But listen, we're going to have to go full tilt, because if we go off half cock at bloody Papua New Guinea, they've got it in them to embarrass us.
Yeah,
they absolutely have it in them to embarrass us
in the physicality and the attitude stakes. But
yeah,
I think we can control the game.
I do too, but we'll have to see.
Score enough to. Look, PNG haven't come up against much in attack so far. But
they're not going to come against much in attack from us, are they?
England aren't much in attack, but we expect it to go that way. And then, the most interesting one will be New Zealand / Tonga versus Fiji, won't it? You would suspect.
Yes, that's the exciting one, isn't it? Okay, well, that is the world of Rugby League covered from a World Cup standpoint. Mark, all that's left for us to do this week is wrap up the show. Okay then, Mark, we're coming to the end of our first World Cup edition, and since I've had the honour of putting the rundown together, I also have the honour of providing the quiz this week for the first time ever.
I feel like I need a pen and paper.
You might want to make some notes just to help yourself out, but there's two sides to this quiz. The first thing we're doing, round one, is called Capital Idea, okay? We're going to challenge your general knowledge and your powers of deduction when it comes to our friends and rivals in the Rugby League World Cup. You'll be marked out of 10 in this round, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to base this around New Zealand, Lebanon, Tonga, Fiji and Samoa, okay? We're going to play capital cities first of all, and then we're going to play a game of higher or lower.
Sorry.
So,
New Zealand, Lebanon, Fiji.
New Zealand, Lebanon, Tonga.
Oh, sorry.
Fiji and Samoa. The order is not strictly important at this point. Okay. First of all, can you tell me what the capital city of New Zealand is?
I'm assuming it's Auckland, but it might actually be Christchurch.
Mark, it's Wellington.
Wellington. I don't know then.
It's Wellington.
There you go.
Okay. Do you know the capital city of Beirut?
Well, I know that Beirut is.
Do you know the capital city of Lebanon?
That would have been the one I got out of these.
Excellent. Well, the next three I will be blown away if you know. Do you know the capital city of Tonga?
No, I haven't got a clue.
It's Nuku'alofa.
Right.
Okay. Do you know the capital city of Fiji?
No, I ain't got a clue.
Suva.
Oh shit! Do you know what? I knew that one. Damn it!
Do you know the capital city of Samoa?
No.
It's Apia. Okay, so we'll go 1 out of 5.
Do you know what? That's annoying. I knew that one too. If I'd have thought about this is how it feels like, isn't it?
Okay, so that was a little bit of a silly one to get started with, but okay, we're going to play higher or lower with the populations of these countries. So, whilst you can't get a point for saying higher or lower on New Zealand's population, you can get a point for guessing it within a margin of error of 200,000. So, what do you think the population of New Zealand is?
6.5 million.
4.6 million people live in New Zealand, Mark. So, keeping that in mind, do you think that the population of Lebanon is higher or lower than the population of New Zealand?
I'm going to go lower.
Actually higher. There are 6 million people living in the Lebanon. Okay, now
lower.
Tonga is
lower.
Look, can you let me do the quiz? Because people will want to play along at home. And you're spoiling it for them by being a frustrated little bitch. Right. Do you think the population of Tonga is higher or lower than that of Lebanon?
I've heard about 1,000 times over the last 3 weeks that there's only 100,000 people in Tonga.
Well, there's actually 107,000 people in Tonga, so you're right there. Okay, so you've got a point. Do you think the population of Fiji then is higher or lower than that of Tonga?
I'm going to go higher.
You're quite right to go higher. It's 898,000 people living in Fiji. And finally, the population of Samoa, higher or lower than that of Fiji?
This is a difficult one because Samoa's technically like 2 places, isn't it?
It's a lot of places, Mark, yeah.
So,
spread out.
I'm still going to go lower.
You're quite right. 195,000 people live in Samoa. So, out of 10 there, you scored 4. That's not bad. You did one better than Emma. We did this when she was making tea. I ran the quiz by. I ran this half of the quiz by. The second half of the quiz is a game of Who Am I?
I really would have. Yeah, I'm annoyed at myself for not even thinking about them capital cities.
We're coming back to Rugby League now with this one. We're going to play Who Am I with 4 players. 4 Rugby League players. Not all of them currently playing in the World Cup, it has to be said. I've chopped and changed it a little bit. We're going to start with New Zealand. Okay, we're playing Who Am I? I am my country's most capped player. Sorry, I have 5 clues. I should explain this more. I have 5 clues for each player.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get progressively easier.
Yeah. And
give more away. So you'll get 5 points if you get it off the first one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay?
I already feel like I'm not going to know this one, even though... Do you know what I mean? The name's not going to come to me. It's that prop forward who played in the 9s last year for the Warriors, isn't it?
I am New Zealand's most capped player.
It's that prop forward who played in the 9s for the Warriors last year.
Do you know his name?
His surname begins with a W. Ruben Wiki.
Ha! Bravo! Well done indeed. It is Ruben Wiki. 55 caps for his country. Do you want to hear what the other clues were?
Go on.
Won a premiership with Canberra in 1994. Was the first New Zealander to play 300 first... Because these are worthwhile statistics, actually. Was the first New Zealander to play 300 first-grade games in the NRL, which he achieved in 2008. He played 18 tests as captain of New Zealand from 2003 to 2006. And the final one, if you hadn't got it, would have been his sister Jermaine Wiki plays for the female rugby league team, the Kiwi Ferns.
If I'd not got it when I got it, I would have got it by the 4th clue, I think.
You're off to a good start there, mate. You're off to a great start. Okay, this one...
Back in my wheelhouse.
Well, there we go, Rugby League, there we go. This one is actually easier, and I've only come up with... I've got 5 clues, but I think you'll get this straight away. This is the easiest one.
All right.
For me. Okay, I am Lebanon's top try scorer.
And this is the easiest one?
I think so.